Hi everybody, welcome to Ocean Yemi channel. So tonight we are gonna have SunGod on the panel. He said he'll be home soon, so I'm gonna give him a second. In the meantime, I'm going to play some music. I hope I can find all my music stuff now because I haven't played them in so long. And let me see if I can find them. Hold on. Oops, it's very noisy over here. Let me see if I can find them. I doubt it because I haven't played nothing in a long time. So I'm probably backed up with stuff. Let me see.
Mommy.
Yes. So we're busy watching Morphin Power Rangers here. That's what you're hearing. Go Power Rangers over here. Let me see. I can never find the tune when I want it. It's amazing, isn't it? Let me see. Oh, can't find it. I was gonna have to play from the internet. Oh wow. That's what happens when you don't play stuff for ages. Gets lost in translation. Anyways, let me just try and get from the Hi Real Talk. Let me just get from the thing.
Can I change my...
Alright, let me see if I can get it. Even if I have to cut it out, it's fine.
La la, oh oh oh, yeah. Oh, la 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 la, yeah. I need a call on you. Can you bring that motion, girl? Oh, and I'm so in love with you, and you got me floating, yeah, through the room. Yeah, my boo, baby, yeah, my boo, baby, I need my boo, baby, oh oh oh, yeah, my boo, baby. Look at my boo, baby. I need my boo, baby. Where are you?
Prophecy says your destiny is meant to be with me. The warlock and the Bruja, what an ancient love story. You say you wanna taste the potion, but I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. That shadow need a little working. It's time to purge all them emotions. But you gon' offer the queen, build the altar with me, be the bridge in between, yeah. Spend some nights in the woods, we can harvest the cure, melt your heart, me and more, yeah. And the stars realign, so our magic can shine. Love was made by design. Hey, put these stones on your spine, rub this herb on your eye, baby, let that spirit fly.
I need a call on you. Can you bring that motion, girl? Oh, and I'm so in love with you, And you got me floating, yeah, through the room. Then my boo, baby. Then my boo, baby. I need my boo, baby. Oh, oh, oh. Then my boo, baby. Look, then my boo, baby. I need my boo, baby. Where are you?
Come close, I'm in the dark, yeah. Give this candlelight a spark, yeah. Step into my ring of love, and we'll never drift apart. Stare deep into the mirror at us. Write down your fantasies of your lust. Surrender to me all of your trust. I'll heal the scars that led to your heart. Now light is a feather, you can see it clear. Submerged in the pleasure, let go of your fears. You know the time is near. Rise of the feminine is here. You know the time is near. Rise of the feminine is here.
I need a call on you. Can you bring that motion, girl? Oh, and I'm so in love with you. And you got me floating, yeah, through the room. Then my boo, baby. Then my boo, baby. I need my boo, baby. Oh, oh, oh. Then my boo, baby. Look, then my boo, baby. I need my boo, baby. Where are you?
Hey, calling all business owners or wannabe business owners. Are you in a situation right now where your business...
The practice you are about to learn is almost never described publicly.
Take your time, nurture your soul, embrace the highs, work through the lows, master yourself, work on your goals. Just take a breath, let go it and grow. It can't rain forever, you won't feel this pain forever. I promise you can change for better. I know people change, and things change for better. Yeah, I know times is kinda tough right now. Ain't nobody showing love right now. You a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth, you enough right now. I know times is kinda tough right now, and you rather be in love right now. But you a diamond in the rough right now. Love yourself, know your worth, you enough right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. You enough right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. You enough right.
Many people are not aware they carry divine
I'm sanctuary. Hey, yeah. I know I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. I'm sanctuary. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah.
of my soul. I have a spiritual immune system against fraudulent love. The greatest chess move I play is going within. This is what puts me on game. Now I must own the role of the high priestess of who I am. In sanctuary, I find sovereignty guiding me. I accept the initiation into deep study to realize my sanctity as a woman. I denounce all imagery, manipulative messaging, false worship, and self-loathing about womanhood. I'm a mystical woman. Knowing my path goes far past a physical one. I stay patient and calm, knowing the divine plan for my life is working this thing out with what my life requires to be lived and expressed fully. I denounce all conditioning of hyper-independence and obsession to win. I denounce all false gods, leaders, celebrities that feed into soul poverty. I have feminine faith. Deep in my mind, there's an inner sanctuary. What is at the altar? What are the sacrificial offerings? I can feel it, maybe everything. I can feel myself being drawn to this place. I fall to my knees and I allow through my mental bow, my heartfelt bow. In this sacred cocoon, I am being rebirthed. I'm grieving what I thought were goals. I'm stripping away shame. I shed the pettiness. I know petty is played out. I release all energies and relationships where my present isn't recognized as a gift. Miss me with the incompetent insight. The hidden things are revealed to me in the sanctuary because the great I am saw it first and said something. And I can't unsee it. I can't unhear it. I'm really careful of the 411 I take in on social media. My mind is a temple.
So if you
which I'm against,
huh? And listen, this is why they've been mixing with us. This is why they've been mixing with us. That's this should get deep. Because if long story short, if you're a white girl but you have a Nubian child, that Nubian child that becomes that's a soul incarnation being, and then you upgraded yourself because you took on the DNA of a Nubian who has 9 chakras and has cosmic DNA. So you took it down your throat, or you took it, you know what I'm saying? However you took it, you took that DNA into your body and it got absorbed. Now you become that. Long story short. So
the actual mother has that energy in that DNA already since she gave birth to that child, you're saying?
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. Can you hear me?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
You sound much better. You got sound much better. Yeah. You sound much better. So what'd you say?
I was on my phone. Okay. So I said, so when that mother gives birth to that Nubian child, they have that DNA in them from giving birth to, and that's how that works.
No. So the woman. That's a good question. So the woman, when she engages in sexual contact with an ancient man, then she puts herself on that journey towards gaining that solar essence, because you got to change your genetics first in order to receive.
Okay, what I'm doing now, waiting for him to come true. I did tell him I was going to be on now, so we're just waiting for him to come true. So is there any questions? Please have your questions lined up for when he comes true. I'm just playing bits of his IG right now. So if you don't know who he is, then the IG kind of give an idea, kind of what he's about, so you can see. But when he does come, the questions, you'll be able to question him. You'll be able to go on panel and question him if you feel. I'm hoping others will come true. So I'm gonna play some more stuff until he comes true. I'm just hoping he doesn't take long, because we're on a time scale as well. So we did agree on the time, and he said he'll be around in 30 minutes, if less than that, hopefully. So as soon as he comes through, right, we will go through with the talk or interview, however. Hi, SunGod.
Robert, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing? Grand Rising.
Oh, hi, Grand Rising. Right,
Or matter of fact, you in the UK, right? You in the UK?
yeah, we're UK time.
Right. So Nefer Amunra. So grand evening.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you as well. So I'm so glad you came through. So right, I was hopefully people will be coming through with questions for you, or if not, they'll be coming onto the panel. Hopefully, it won't be rough ride. Hopefully, it'll be very easy going.
It's all
And
good. It's always easy going. Always. Nothing but love, and I shook divine love. So it's always good. No matter what happens, positive or negative, it's all just experience.
yeah. So So, so please introduce yourself and tell a little bit of your story so people can get to grips. For those who don't know who you are, because people are connecting you with other elements, but right, we'll get to that part later on.
Got you. Okay. Well, I go by Sun Ra, aka the Sun God. Um, my Egyptian name is Anak Senatun. I was born in this life in California. Moved to Atlantis, aka Atlanta, for school. Once I got out of school, decided to stay out here and further, what you would say, spiritual evolution or elevation. So now I'm out here, teaching, being, existing, working on a few projects. You know what I'm saying? With the ultimate goal, listen, my intention, the ultimate goal, what I'm doing is to continue to raise the consciousness of our people, point blank, period. And then on the economic level, I'm big on, what I'm saying, black economics. So we're trying to build an economic structure, or not build, rebuild, reestablish, a economic structure. Because that's one thing I've noticed is that when it comes to, that's one thing we're still far behind. Long story short, so I focus on, equal, not just, I'm not just all spiritual. We are having an earthly experience. We are in the matrix. We are on the planet. So while we're down here, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna stay down here, and while you're down here, you might as well, um, try to live as comfortably as possible. Okay, you already suffered enough just being down here without getting too deep. So long story short, that's what I'm big on.
Okay, yeah. So, so you're trying to reach my mic. Yeah. So, I feel that how I've come to know about you was through Solar and Janae.
Okay.
And it's because that you had that interaction with Solar, basically. So I got straight to the point, didn't I? But yeah, that's how I come to know about you. And then I realized she was linked with the New Arpians. So um, so at first, where I was playing the videos, but I feel that people need to know more about you. and not just what they see on our screens, basically. Like, I mean, right, I mean, like, it don't have to be nothing deep, like a childhood story, like way back then, you know what I mean? It don't have to be on that level, but it's just that because like there's so much confusion in the conscious community and so much scammers and stuff going on, people who need to know, even if they're not into the Egyptian way of life or certain stuff which you can explain how you became into the Egyptian way of life, was you born into it, was, you know what I mean, certain stuff like that. So I feel it's very vital that how we get to know people like you and others who's coming up, the the next generation coming up. So that's how I look at it as well, on my part as well. So
Yeah, that's real quick.
yeah.
Exactly. I'm all for that because you're absolutely right. Okay, it's important that we check everybody out because we are observers. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you this, and to your audience, and just to the audience, period. This is why you must tap in with your intuition. Point blank, period. Your intuition will never lie to you about anybody. Long story short, and the more you elevate yourself, the more the intuition start kicking in. So you know who's, you know what I'm saying, who's a scammer or who's dealing with this. Just check out their energy. But I just want to add that. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, because the there's been twists and turns, and not only that, you have a certain look about you as well, so it's very unique. So there's that as well, you know.
Right.
People will question your sexuality on how you look, because you know that's what people will do,
Of
right?
course.
So so that's why, like, when you was having that interaction with Solar, it did look like he was trying to tell you your shit, your stuff, basically. But when I was looking at the interaction, right, to me it's like, it's like, you know, I know you know a lot of information, because yes, you was given a little bit of information. So when he was coming with certain stuff about the astrology and stuff like that, even though it's nice to exchange back and forwards, but I can see that you know a little bit more than him. And I'm not just saying that because of whatever, because of Solar, because it's Solar, but in general, that's what I saw from my observation. And so I just want, I just basically want you to say, not to say, to find out whether, you was part of the, did you grow up in the New Albion? Was you part of New Alp? Did you came into it, or?
Got you. So the Nuwapian. So how did I get associated with the Sabaeans? We don't use that word because it's on the it's on what is that? It's on that name is on the terrorist watch list. So I can't say I associate with that because then, you know what I'm saying, especially on the public. You know what I'm saying? It's known as, it's called right now. The official name is Wu Sabat, or the Sabaeans. That's the official name for everybody, for your audience, for anybody out there who's still confused. But that's what they're officially calling it, is Wu Sabat.
Okay, because thank you for correcting me on that one, because I think somebody did tell me like the Sabians or something like that. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So
it's all good. A lot of people listen. It's all good. You don't gotta apologize. A lot of people are still a little confused about that too. Long story short, so it's all good. We're still learning, including myself.
Okay, yeah. So well, yeah. Just right. Was you born into the Sabians, and or brought up in the space?
Okay, so great question. So let's just go a little back. I guess the childhood. So childhood, my parents, they didn't raise. I wasn't raised in these so-called modern day religious systems, as such as Christianity and Islam. That's not how I wasn't raised. My parents, they were big on education. Okay, that's what they were big on: education, going to school. Now, with that being said, even though they were big on that, in my family home, we had African art everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So even though even though out of their mouths, they were big on you need to go to school, get education, but the energy was definitely Nubian, ancient Nubian, African, Egyptian, blah 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 spirituality. My father had a library full of books about ancient Egypt, so called, full of books about aliens, so called. You see what I'm saying? So that's the energy I grew up in. Um, I was never indoctrinated, so I never had to I never had to come out of a system and read and get back into a system. I've been studying about so-called aliens, been studying about so-called ancient Egypt since I could read. Long story short, because I'm a historian, so I was always in my father's library, just checking that shit out and checking out, and I was going to a lot of art shows because my parents, they were big on going to art shows. Long story short, so that's how I grew up. And then when I got into high school, I didn't know who. So everybody's big on. A lot of people in the world are still big on Jesus, right? I didn't know who that was until I got into high school. You know what I'm saying? So blah 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 blah. Fast forward to I moved to Atlanta because for college. I went to go to a HBCU. And for your audience, if you're not aware, a HBCU here in America, that means a historically black college and university. So basically, they're colleges or universities that are predominantly so-called black. Most of the college institutions over here in the United States are predominantly white, right? We already know that. But also a lot of people are not aware of. But you also have HBCU, which are historically black colleges. Blah blah blah. So I decided to go. I decided to attend one in Atlanta. Long story short, once I came out here and I got through schooling, um, the Sabaeans were propagating. Propagating basically means promoting. Like when you're on the block promoting, just like the Hebrew Israelites, they propagate. If you live in a major city, they'll go out there and you'll see them, just promoting or propagating their religious beliefs, so called. So the Sabaeans were doing the same thing. One day I went downtown Atlanta, and they were down there propagating, and I noticed the so-called Egyptian symbols, the Ankh. They wear the Ankh Tui, which is the double Ankh. Okay, Egyptian symbol, and the black and gold. Okay, so when I seen them propagating, I noticed, wait a minute, that looks familiar because that's what I was dealing. That's what I was dealing with coming out of Cali. The so-called Egyptian culture, so-called, right? So that's how I got established with that. Once I linked up with one of their propagators, gave me some books, started studying, and the rest was history.
Okay. And also, right, you are in the mystery system, I'm thinking as well, isn't it? You're part of the mystery system. Was it the Egyptian?
That's a good word to use. That's a good word. We can use that word.
Yeah,
that's a safe word. That's a safe word to use. So yes, we all are. Yes, I am, and many of us are. To be honest, this whole planet is under the system. Remember, this is a school. This entire experience is a school. So essentially, we are all under this mystery system. Some of us are still dealing with the exoteric phase of it, meaning you're still worried about what's going on outside, which is cool because that's a school too. And then a lot of us have graduated. And now we're going to the esoteric portion, meaning we're trying to understand. Self, the divine self.
Yeah, I get that part. Yeah, so like going forward, so when you run your panels on your IG, is right, is it you gaining information or you giving them information, or is it both ways, the information flow? Like, because on your panels it seems like you'll be like really, like there'll be a little bit of an exchange, but it'll be like not really a teaching moment. I don't think it's a teaching moment personally, for what I see. It's more like just an exchange or just like a open forum. Is that how the Instagram is run, or the metaverse as you put it is run like so that you can get like a basis knowing open-minded people, whatever. Because I want to get to the carbonations, but I'm gonna come to them afterwards. But
Okay.
I'm just trying to get to grips with with like how you're running your space that is that being the platform that you are at, because there's a lot of exchanges on there like on a regular, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
I like to. So okay. So in real life, okay. Besides the metaverse, what I like doing, I like building. Building means having conversation. Because when you have a conversation with somebody, I'm a student teacher, meaning I'm still a student and I'm a teacher. So I like learning. Everybody has their own truth and own perspective of the same knowledge. So this is why I love building and engaging and synergizing. So that I won't be up here just talking and teaching and lecturing. I want to know how you feel about it. Long story short, and I'm also big on exposing the females in a good way. Everybody uses the word expose and they associate it with something negative. No, not at all. Exposing the feminine knowledge. So I prefer to have females on my platform because they need to get their voice out. It's daytime, and it's me personally. I'm getting tired of learning wisdom from the masculine tone. Yeah, long story short, so I prefer exchanges. I want to learn. We still, as a masculine or a divine masculine, I still want to learn and learn a story from the mother, right, which is the female. Long story short, so yes, I'm big on building. It's an open platform. Anybody can, if you send me a request, I will accept it. Only way I won't do that is if I have a previous guest that we're gonna do a show. But if I'm on there building and I send out an open invite, anybody can pull up and we can build. Drop your wisdom, and you know what I'm saying. And we can just sit up there and relax and build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense because that's how I was running my one for a bit, for a time, for a little while. But then I get what you're saying because like um yeah, well, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I get what you're saying though on that levels, and also it looks like you are a fashion designer as well. So
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I
does
didn't
it look
know.
like it just
Huh?
looks like how you dress? I don't know, like
Nah,
it just
I'm just. I be. Nah, I just. I appreciate that. That's a compliment. Appreciate that.
yeah. Sorry, that's got the most going on with me right now. But yeah. So are your model? I know it's steampunk. Um, and it, stuff going on as well in the pictures. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of.
Oh, did you see my recent photo shoot?
I think I did. I did see a little. I see one
Okay.
picture. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I am a model officially. We are model, but listen, we are all listen. We are all models and superstars. Y'all just gotta tap in. So you're a model. You a model too, if you want to be.
Yeah. But basically, I feel that people need to get to know you, and also because of the yes, also I really wanted you to explain about the solar and the meeting with solar, as I
Okay.
know a lot of people's interested in that as well, and the carbonations, how are they interacting, or how are they becoming, or would they becoming part of the Egyptian order?
Okay. So okay, bet. I guess we'll take it one at a time, so I can, you know what I'm saying, so I can keep up. So yeah, solar. So again, my platform's open. So when I went out to California and I was just chilling. So I decided to go live just randomly. And when I went live, he happened to send me a request. So I accepted it. I was like, oh, solar, bet. Because oh my God, when I went live, I seen so many different names that of these of these influencers, and he just happened to be one that sent me a request to come up. So that's how that worked, and we just started building. I didn't know it was gonna turn into a big deal because I'm over here just chilling, trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's what, So I'm listen to the audience. I'm from I was born in California, so you already know you should, you know what I'm saying? We're about relaxing and vibing and building peace, love, sex, knowledge, spirituality. I'm good. That's what we about. Okay. So that's what so I carry that energy with me. So when I was on live, I'm just chilling. That wasn't planned. It was random, all in divine timing. I appreciate his wisdom and I appreciate his time. And that's what that was about.
Okay. So one of my people has said, can you speak more on the feminine on the moon that was on your stories today?
Sure. Great question. But before we go forward, did that make sense to you and to your audience? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bet.
Because I'm listening intensely to you, so that I can get to know you a bit more. So that's why I said, well, that's why I told you, like, no one's not going to come at you like that, because I feel people can listen and take in what they need to take in, or take away what they need to take away, basically. And hence that's why I asked them to ask you questions. You know what I mean? So any questions that I don't ask you, they can ask you. So, so it's like you said, the interaction, so we can all understand what's going on with it, like, in this situation, basically.
Right.
But but go ahead and explain on the question that Miss Wise asked.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Can you speak more on the feminine on the moon? Okay, bet. So as far as I know, okay, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. What you're calling ancient Egyptian, ancient African, ancient Nubian, whatever name you choose to use to label your culture, but your inherent culture is very ancient. It's see, a lot of people are having trouble going back 1,000, couple thousand, 100,000 years, which is unfortunate because the culture goes back billions of years. And I'm talking about in a high royal state, billions. Okay? Long story short, not only is that culture that ancient, but it's also intergalactic. Long story short, meaning you'll find ancient Nubian Egypt culture on other planets, other worlds, other galaxies. Okay, NASA, they've been conducting secret space missions. On their space missions, all, you know what I'm saying, they go to different planets, and finding the same shit: Egyptian, Nubian, African style temples and pyramids. Long story short, we call them the Netzeru. There's other names, but we'll stick to the Netzeru. Okay, the Netzeru in the physical universe are they're what they're calling the ancient Egyptians. So they're a group of royal, so-called melanated galactic beings. Okay, these beings known as the Netzeru, they travel intergalactically in the physical universe. In the physical universe, they use starships. Long story short, many of the starships they use are piloted by the feminine because the feminine's mind operates much faster than the mind of a masculine. So the feminine are more qualified to pilot starships than the masculine. And now when you come back down to Earth, go check this out. But female pilots are more they're more qualified to operate aircraft without getting. I'm not trying to get into a ramble, but that just goes back. You got to understand the divine feminine mind is more advanced because that's a more complete personification of the divine in physical form. Okay, so of course that soul, which is the mind, is going to be, you know what I'm saying, a pure God mind. Long story short, okay, so that type of mind is going to be utilized when you're flying a starship and you're trying to calculate intergalactic distances in light years, not miles, but you're trying to calculate intergalactic distances in light years. You're going to need an advanced mind, not no motherfucking computer. A divine feminine mind. So that type of mind is a cosmic mind, and it can easily navigate the galactic highways. So long story short, blah blah blah. NASA in 1970, they on a secret space mission, they went to the moon. They found a lot of shit, but the most interesting thing they found was a Nubian female in one of those crashed starships, nicknamed Mona Lisa. And they trying to whitewash her, but you know what I'm saying, you can't do that because we recognize our women. That's definitely a Neturu Nubian avatar. Okay, it's just an avatar. The being the being of the avatar has been vacated that avatar billions of years ago. So she's okay. She's doing all right. She's doing all right. They just found an avatar. That's all. A black woman body avatar. I hope I was able to satisfy your question on that, or your
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope that makes sense because I don't mean to interrupt you. I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys, because that's a very listen. A lot of things that I deal with, people are still not have no idea about. Okay, again, most people when they think about ancient Africa, ancient Egypt, they still associating ancient Egypt, ancient Tamaray with Africa. They still associate it with planet Earth. So that association with culture, it's barely reaching galactics. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I try to keep it simple so people can understand that there's a higher mystery going on that even we are still discovering. I'm still learning. I don't know it all. I'm still learning, but it's very deep. You know what I'm saying? Long story short.
Yeah, she got it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So, you talk. I think on your stories as well. You show. I mean, like you do the languages as well, which you talk, which you are sounding, which is the sound, the word sound, and you are also looking at the words next door to. I think it was Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, tour.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, like your stories are very interesting, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
No, I'm just saying. I hope so. I hope they be interesting.
Yeah, they're very interesting. And also, I mean, like the interactions, like with deity Isis, which I know from the Nature Boys interaction, because I know she did loads of seminars with Nature Boy and stuff like that. That's how
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting that, from my perspective, I'm having fun. I'm learning a lot. But it's interesting that I'm over here chilling, just but people are coming like, it's just interesting how in my head I'm just trying to relax and chill and just build people, but it just turns into something else. That's pretty fun. But go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, of course, people turn into something else. Like Nature Boy is notorious in these streets, so
Right, exactly. That's what happened. That's basically what happened with. I've just been noticed by a lot of different people. A lot of I guess influential people have noticed. Have noticed me, and they reach out to me, and they, a lot of these people are very not. From my personal experience, and I don't like. You know what? I'm not gonna use names. Not at all. We ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit up here and demonize or talk shit about nobody. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to, but you can express.
It's all good, but it's all good. It's all good. But a lot of these people that these big influencers, they've all been very nice to me. Let's put it like that. So that's how I feel about anybody. You can bring up anybody's name if I've met them. Everybody has treated me with respect for the most part, except for the King World and them. King World don't fuck with me, but it's all good. Not everybody's gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? We do have fire children. We have the golden children, and opposite of them are the fire children. Eventually, you're gonna run across fire children and Luciferians. Luciferians are black devils. They're disagreeable. So their whole point of existence is to be disagreeable, especially if you are so-called a golden child or indigo. As soon as they see your light, you know what I'm saying, they immediately are going to negatively react.
But that's because the community on a whole is gone sort of I don't know, parasite-ish,
Yeah.
parasites. So obviously, when people come into contact with you, especially if they see who you are linked to, in the West Indies, the saying goes, "Was it tell me who your friends are?" No, who your friends are who you are, or something like that. I can't remember, but it's some saying like that. So obviously, right, people tarnish you with the same brush, even if you're not that way.
Right. Perception is reality. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So being that how there's been a lot of dysfunctional community per se in the conscious community, people have watched the dysfunction, and it's got worse until where he's ended up now. So when they're looking at the company that you are around, they just think like, like, is he going to be the same as them, or like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Which you probably might not be, but that's just how it is. Like, that's just how life is in general, isn't it?
Exactly.
So that's one of the reasons why people have taken an interest in you. Probably before, I probably have seen you before. I must have seen you before, because I know you interacted with Nature Boy before at one point anyway. So, but it's just more interesting when you hear from the horse's mouth who he is, and not assume. Well, I mean, like, you can keep your opinion on the person, but sometimes it's best to hear the words yourself, like see where they're at, or see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. That's how I operate. I don't never see. Here's the deal. We must remember it's important to remain neutral as best as you can until you can get to the source as best as you can. I know that's hard sometimes to be neutral, but that's what I'm learning. A lot of people are having trouble with that, but also a lot of people on the planet are childish.
Hi,
Huh?
SunGod.
How
Ocean,
you
how
doing?
you guys doing?
Robert Nefer Amun Grand Rising, beloved.
Hi, real talk. Let him finish his point, and then you can jump in. Okay?
Okay.
Go on.
Shit. So yeah, usually when I'm downloading like that, you know what I'm saying? I think I forgot. 'Cause I be rambling a lot. But yeah. I ramble. So if I get interrupted, I'm not gonna remember what I said unless somebody reminds me.
Um. Oh my gosh, even me, I'm getting old. Sorry, I'm getting old. I'll probably look at this and think, oh my god, I should have asked him that question. I know that's gonna come up. I know.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, real talk. Right, you could talk your point, ask away whatever you want to ask him. It's fine. Real talk.
Are you talking to me, Ocean?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted him to continue with what he was saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
what were we talking about? Do you remember what we was talking about? Maybe that'll help me spark it.
We were just talking about the dysfunction of the community, and that how,
Okay,
like,
yeah, dysfunction in the community and
yeah,
how association.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what we basically yeah. So yeah, I was just rambling about that. So it was a ramble.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ocean had introduced me to you because I never really heard of you. I was into, the Nature Boy stuff. And when she was telling me about you, I just wanted to know a little more about you. But when you talk about, I'm not too familiar with what it is, the Egyptian, I don't know what you practice, but Can you tell us a little more about it? So have you ever been to Africa? Saw the pyramids and all the the artifacts that's out there.
Okay, that was a very layered question. So I'm gonna try to start with the last bit of that, and then once I finish that, you can re-ask me in the most simplest way you can, beloved. Have I been to Africa? Yes, because we consider this entire planet to be what is known as Africa. Africa is a new continent, so that's just one landmass.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, but we consider this is planet. This is planet Africa.
I
This is how
truly
we.
believe that. I truly believe that.
Yeah, to it. So when people ask me, have you been to Africa? Yes. Now, have I seen a pyramid with my own eyes? No, not in this life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because I used to talk to Prince York a lot of times on the telephone, and I think that he was going back out there to visit, and help rebuild, a lot of pyramids out there, and get things together, especially when it comes to the kids and the orphan, and stuff like that. But I like what you said, because I am open, I am a believer, I am not into, I'm still open, as OSHA would call me a Christian. Okay, I just consider myself as a believer. Okay, but as I've been coming, and watching a lot of stuff that guys been talking about, it makes sense because I truly believe that the entire planet is ours. I believe that Africa is only a tenth.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Because from a Christian point of view, I look at it when the Most High God has said, "Let man have dominion." He said not on one spot. He said the entire planet.
Right.
I
See, there you
believe
go.
that he had dominion over the entire planet. Now I believe that the tenth belongs to the Most High God, which where we came from. I don't consider us as a lost tribe. I consider us as a stolen tribe. And I
Mm,
also like what you had said that this goes way back billions of years. Our inherit our lineage goes way back billions of years, from the beginning. It was talking about us. Now we trying to sit there and solve and pick apart of what was overturned.
right.
And that's why I'm open, because a lot of stuff that you had said, it did make sense.
Yeah, that's power. Right. So that's very powerful what you said, and yes, um, that's one thing that again we're still learning is now what I let me go back. What I deal with, you can find it in Psalms 8:26.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms in the Bible, Psalms 8:26. It just
Mm-hmm.
it says ye you are all gods.
Of the Most High, yes,
You know what I'm saying? Right.
but not
So
the
that's
Most High God. But we are all gods, little God, but not of the Most High God.
right. So okay. So what I deal with, it expands on what that means, that verse, what I deal with. Okay. I deal with the fact that we are all souls in a body. Okay. The body is just an avatar, just like when you're playing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
The soul is a fraction of what God is. So you can take a pizza, right? That whole thing is God. You slice it up and you slice it up in different pieces. Each one of those are souls. When you put the pieces back together, it's still back to the same one divine supreme God. That's what I deal with. So if everybody with a soul, if you have a soul that is an extension or a stream of what they're calling God. Now the word that's an English word, but it's okay. But a soul is a stream, individuated consciousness of what they're calling God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of us, hold on, let me close the door. We are, that's why spirituality is important because now we'll understand it. If you tap into spirituality, then you'll be able to see that. And then the Christians say Amen, and Amen, who's Amen? Okay, now, if you go back to the Kemetic, Amen or Amun, that's the hidden one. So who is this hidden one? The soul in your body, because the soul is in darkness, right? Inside your body, there's no light. It's triple darkness. So so when you say Amen, when Christians and then the Muslims say Amen, right? So why so why are these religions praying to Amen? I thought Jesus was your Lord. You know what I'm saying? But you say Amen at the end of your prayers.
Amen. You talking about AMEN?
Yeah, Amen, Amen,
Yeah.
Amun,
Yeah.
Amen, right? Amen, Amen, Ra, Amun, which they get from Amun, right? Which is the hidden one. Long story short, it's the divine soul in your body. So that's what I do. That's what I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
The divine I, God self, having a divine human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. So have you ever met or talked to Nature Boy?
I have. I've
Okay.
talked to him on the phone.
Okay. So do you consider yourself as a tribe or a cult?
Wait, what do you mean? With
You
him? What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about with you. What you do? Do you consider yourself, as we having a tribe or a cult?
I didn't. I no. I didn't. I'm just chilling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so okay, because which Nature Boy has said that he was a tribe, and many
Oh,
have
got you.
related him to like a cult, like.
Got
But
you. Okay, got you.
I truly believe that we are coming together. I truly believe that even though all of our history, our culture, our religion, everything was overturned, but I truly believe that we are coming together, all of us coming together on one accord, where, people are, I think that they are afraid of something that, a change, and this is the change that's God's calling right here. I believe that He's calling this generation right here where we will come together. And what Nature Boy was doing, I think it could have been beautiful, but he took it and he turned it into like a show. And I hope that what you are doing, that you are very serious, that it's not about a show, but it's to lead your people to the right way.
So you're absolutely right. It is. We essentially we are tribal people. So if you ask me if I'm tribal, of course I am.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We that's the nature of our culture. It's very tribal. It's very family oriented. Long story short, so that's exactly what's happening. Um, Now on a surface level, I didn't really know about Nature Boy. I kind of discovered him through when he became Three God, and then once he became Three God, and I checked him out on a surface level. That's what it kind of looks like. Okay, you have a chief. Long story short, those who deal with the if you the, in the American audience, those who deal with the Native American part of the culture, you do have a chief, um, a Pharaoh God chief. Usually, that type of being, getting ringtone. Well, what I get to but usually a being like that is getting ringtones. So that means this being is linked to higher realms. Long story short, so that's definitely going to be your chief. So on the surface, on paper, that's what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then the divine feminine are going to flock around you because there's not too many divine masculine God beings on the planet. Let's be honest. Okay, let's keep it real. And then on top of that, the women outnumber the men on the planet, so they're going to gravitate around a divine masculine.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, it's about family and your nation. It's not about um, I guess people associate being tribal with just being poly. That's what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I thought you was
Yeah.
poly as well, and
Yeah.
Huh?
also I thought you was also uh the sexual orientation. Sometimes people will look into all that sexual orientations and all that. So
Right.
yeah, so are you poly?
So I'm both. I could be poly or mono, depending on how things are flowing. I do see poly in my future though, just by the way things are going, because I've been getting interviewed by a lot of poly couples, which is interesting. So based on that just shows me that female couples are looking and are looking at the divine masculine as a potential. You know what I'm saying? So I've been getting interviewed on that level, and I'm open to that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not closed off to that. it's and then to me it's important that the masculine that men that the divine masculine properly educate, protect, provide. We're providers, and you're supposed to be provided. These women are supposed to be provided for, and they haven't been. Long story short, so a lot of times, divine masculine are going to have to be poly, just so we can save our women. Long story short.
Oh, hold on. Oops. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. And also, Miss Wise was saying, can you speak on Avatar the movie and what you get from it?
Oh, ooh, that's a good one. Avatar. Avatar Part Two is I think it's coming out in December. But yeah, let's keep it simple. Avatar, go check that out. That movie is about y'all culture, Nubian African culture. Okay, go check out the god that they was worshiping. I think her name was can't remember, but I cannot remember. But it was a spiritual, it was a spirit god. Anyways, that's exactly what's going on. Avatar. The body is an avatar of consciousness. Okay, that's the main thing that needs to be taken away out of that. Besides the fact that that those people they had a they had a very intimate connection with nature, just like we do, or we just like we did. Okay, so they basically they're basically giving away your culture on TV, and then you have a predominantly Caucasoid company or corporation come to their land, you know what I'm saying, and mine them and suppress them and go, go to war with them. Come on now, come on now, that's our story 101, point blank period. But they made it galactic, which without getting too deep, you do have
You can go,
corporation, huh?
you can go deep. It's
Well,
fine.
okay, yeah. So you do have okay, bet. So there's many corporations that y'all don't know anything about because you don't have enough money. Number one, okay, your money dictates. Excuse me, your money or your finances dictates what is going to be presented to you. Long story short, okay. So there's corporations out there that are major, multi-trillion-dollar corporations that you know nothing about. Okay, they can fuck around if you have enough money. They can take you on tours. You can look at the Jurassic Park Island. That shit real, but we'll keep pushing. Okay, but anyway, a lot of these corporations are interplanetary. And so one thing about Avatar that I liked about Avatar that they showed on a deep level, they showed that a lot of things that's happening on planet Earth and to so-called Nubian people is happening on other planets by the same type of people. Long story short, without getting into that, but there's mining, slavery and mining is intergalactic. Oppression of resources that's intergalactic. That's a good. We Earth is just experiencing what's going on in the galaxy. So this is one thing I learned about Avatar is they're showing you big business, but beyond Earth and what's going on. They don't care about your culture, but they just want to get those resources, make a profit, and keep it pushing.
Okay. Yeah. So there's because also when I look at your IG, I see a lot of, like I said, like you remind me of Stargate. A lot of Stargate stuff going on, and I know you put up one about I think it was to do with the beaming of the person beaming come onto the earth. Um yeah, I mean, like, is that like, like your look, like, so is that deliberate or like, or because of the links you have to the to to the Egyptian order?
Well, so I think what it is a lot of us, long story short, are going through a what you call a genetic explosion and an awakening. So as you awaken, you become more of who you are. This is why people are resonating with a certain type of culture and they're really embodying that energy because that's who they are. They're remembering, and once you begin to remember, even subconsciously, it's going to affect how you think, what you eat, how you look, how you dress. I'm not going to want to put on a t-shirt that says I love America, or you know what I'm saying. If I'm conscious or woke, I'm going to want to put on something that's more, you know what I'm saying. So that's more cultural, you know what I'm saying. I'm a big fashionista. So even before I had a what you'll call an awakening, it's like everybody else. I've always been into fashion. You know what I'm saying? I've always, oh God, I'm from California. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been into fashion. So naturally, my love for fashion, because anyway, guess what? That's art, and we are very creative people because creativity is a expression of the soul. So fashion is just another form of art. You know what I'm saying? So of course, if you're going to be in the fashion, and then you start dealing with your culture, and you see that the culture is very fashionable. Oh God, and you just continue to be yourself. It's naturally going to manifest as a certain unique look. Long story short.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. And um, is that a question, Chris, or that a statement? It's a statement, isn't it? I think Chris made a statement about like the Anunnaki and the planet Nubu.
Okay, so what's up, Chris? Rabat, I shook Wuhatep. But let me see. So yeah, are you asking a question? You said that what happened with the Anunnaki, and so I'm not sure if that's a question or if you're making a statement.
No, that's a statement. He says a statement.
Okay.
So, oh yeah. So. I'm sorry. I'm just pelting you with arrows. So back to Retalk's question. So you did ask, like you did answer about the cult one, didn't you? Like, are you a cult, or um would you be going along those lines? I think that's the one when you explain about the Indians. But like, but do you consider yourself a cult at any levels?
Honestly, I do not, but I do understand why people would make that assumption. But me personally, nah. Do I consider myself a cult? Nah, not at all. Now, would I build a tribe of my own? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of flowing. I don't have any long term plans right now. I'm kind of flowing by how I feel. That's how I kind of operate. I'm going by just kind of how I feel, what I need to see, what I believe needs to be changed in the world, in my world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just moving. That's how I'm moving. If I gotta start my own tribe, now listen. If I had to, if once I acquire certain resources, most definitely, I feel like women, me personally, I feel like our people need to be guided a certain way, and I feel like I have the right intentions and all that. Blah 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 blah. The heart chakra is open for that. So most definitely, it's something I'm. It's most definitely something I am open to. Is being a tribal. You know what I'm saying? Being a god pharaoh.
Mhm. Yeah, because definitely, right. I feel like because of what's happened with young Pharaoh as well. Like I feel that there should not be um another one like that, really, because like he really had the people hoodwinked as well. So
One
right.
thing about was well, real quick. Young Pharaoh, one thing I say about him, regardless of how I feel about anybody or about him personally, he has educated. I used to watch a lot of his old videos, and he was dropping it. He was dropping a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Okay, even though the source of the knowledge uh, is what I have issue with, but beyond that, on a surface level, he was educating people on a surface level because he's long story short, he was basically teaching what is taught in the mystery schools. So now, so once you're teaching that, people have that level of awareness and consciousness. Okay, folks got to get out of this whole stop being. Folks got to stop thinking so human. Stay on a knowledge level. And one thing about me, that's one thing I'm big on. I don't try to get too personal or too human. Of course, unless I'm having unless I'm with a goddess and we having a intimate experience. But beyond that, I keep it on a knowledge. What type of knowledge are you pushing? Long story short, are you teaching or are you just what I'm saying? So with him, regardless of what's going on with him now, he did. We listen. He was dropping and he was illuminating and raising the consciousness of the people. I will say that.
Yeah, he was dropping gems, but then it's the way how he like you said, it's the way how he dealt with his own um child's mother and everything, and I think that's when everything turned. I think that's when everything turned on its head,
Hmm.
personally. And being that how like I said, once again, right, it comes down to the youngsters looking up to you guys, right? So obviously, like, if you lot are projecting a certain way or saying, oh, women should be submissive or women should do this or women should do that, the next generation will be thinking the same thing. And that's why, like, when people will assume that maybe, like, you are a narcissist when probably you're not a narcissist or whatever the word is. I know people love that word so much, but like, people would, once again, it comes down to assumption again, because like, people are not living in your house, is what you project out on the social media, okay, as
Right.
well.
Exactly.
So on top of that, on top of that, if they see, okay, right, it's just light skinned girls or whatever, then that's colorism there. Then it's not a balance. Then it just takes away everything that the whatever the the woke, whatever, unwoke, unconscious, whatever they're dealing with, and then it just goes in a spiral. It just goes like in a downward spiral from there. Then it's like we don't go nowhere, because nobody's not dealing with the ones who's doing the rubbish. And when they do deal with the rubbish, it's like, oh, you're right, you're trying to chop a black man down or something like that, which is not the case. Which I think you got caught in the middle of that. That's what I think, you got caught in the middle of that.
Right. That's what it feels. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, because of association, right? You got caught in the middle of that. So it's like you have a lot to prove to those people on the outside who's looking at you with the same eyes as they look at Nature Boy, right? Because obviously, right, they don't want a repeat of that. You know what I mean? So
well, real quick, I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anybody. To be honest, I don't feel like that. I feel like either you check me out and then you know what I'm saying, or not. I really don't care. But I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I'm trying to just do what I feel is right in my heart and keep it pushing.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting over the flu. So excuse me if I keep.
It's all good. It's all. Hey, listen, it's all good. I'm chilling. I'm having fun. But I'm big on word usage too. So you know what I'm saying. Because that also, if you use the wrong words, then it's like that creates assumptions. You know what I'm saying, which furthers the problem. So communication is important. That's why your throat chakra, that's very important to me. You know what I'm saying? Communication.
So real talk. Have you got any more questions to SunGod, and anybody else? If you want to come up, you can ask him questions as well. The asking questions, I would either put it on the highlight or I'll tell him, or however. Just the interaction is nice. It's really nice right now. So we're trying to keep it at levels. We don't want nobody shouting at each other and getting into it. Is because you can't hear what the other person's saying if you're doing
right, like on that King World interview.
Oh yes, don't call him over here. Yeah, but yeah, yes. So basically, yeah. So I was wondering whether Real Talk have anything she wants to ask you, because, like, this is an opportunity for those who's been following Nature Boy as well to ask SunGod questions. Just get it out your system, basically. Like me, I just asked him the questions which I always wanted to ask you, like, was he born in the movement? And I got my answer. So I'm sure other people have other questions as well. So yeah. Yes, but Chris was also saying, because he was talking about the people mining across the universe, that's why he made that statement.
Okay, got it. And Chris, just to be clear on that planet Nibiru, that's a planet ship, so it's a starship, but it's just larger than the planet. It's like Nibiru is about 8 times the size of the planet, but it's a planet ship. I don't know if you're a movie head, but you remember the movie Independence Day when those large starships came down? Starships are very large. There's many starships larger than this planet. Planet Earth is a very tiny moon planet. Okay, it's a little tiny little baby moon
you can
planet.
hear me now? Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. I can hear you.
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, Nibiru is a planet ship, so it's a starship. It's not an actual planet. Just to be clear on that.
Yeah, go ahead, real talk. Sorry, because I'm coughing over here. So that's why I'm trying to I'm listening and also trying to come in and yeah, that's right. You can ask away.
Well, I'm just really listening. To me, it's very interesting because this right here is new to me, and I'm just, I'm rooting for my brother. I want to see us come together, and like he said, this the time right here, and I'm just open, to see, something that I don't know because, like I said, I'm coming from out of a Christian background, so I'm just more of, just trying to soak it in.
And trying to connect it. Right, trying to connect
Yes,
it.
yeah,
So
yes.
Christians, what I tell Christians is understand this is to just get it in their head that the stories that they're reading in their books initially is a mixture of Sumerian and Egyptian stories. So those coming out of Christianity study the Sumerian and then study the Egyptian, and you're going to connect the dots instantly. Like for example, in the Bible, uh, in the Christian doctrine, you have Mary, the Immaculate Conception, right? Of
Hmm.
Mary, I'm sorry, of Jesus, the
Right.
Immaculate Conception, because Mary never had sex,
Hmm.
right? So she supposedly got pregnant by God, right? Long
Right.
story short, guess what? You find that same story in the Egyptian with Asar and Aset. Okay, Aset gives birth to Heru, but Aset never had sex with Asar. So Heru was the Immaculate Conception. So then go back in your head and be like, using your intelligence and your reasoning, why are we getting the same stories in Christianity and in the so-called Egyptian? Is it a coincidence? I don't know, maybe or maybe not. Okay, so that's so I invite those who are coming out of these religions just continue to study. Here's the issue, and we're gonna keep it real. It's really the level of consciousness, okay? Because without getting, I'm trying to be safe with my words, but they essentially dumbed us down to a level where it's hard to accept stories beyond the childish level because the Bible is told in a childish level. That's a story basically. When you talk about a ship that was able to hold um one pair of animals of every animal on the planet, and you got several million species of animal. Come on now. Now that's a story. Now, if you think about that on a high level, what will make more sense is okay, bet that ship contained the genetic DNA material of every animal on the planet. That makes more sense.
Hmm.
Long story short, so that all comes down to how your mind is and your level of intelligence. Okay.
I was trying to go ahead and teach the story about Noah and the ark, but for
Mm.
some reason I just couldn't go to the next level. And the reason why, because a lot of stuff, it didn't make sense. It sounds like more of a metaphor, you know,
Right. There you go.
especially when everybody is questioning how did the different races came about.
Right. Blood
And
type. It's right. Then you got blood type. You know what I'm saying? Go.
yeah,
Yeah. Keep going. Yep.
and I was wondering, I sat there and say, why did King James revise the Bible? I was asking so many questions. I said, why did he take some of the books out of the Bible? Like one of them is the book of Enoch. Because if he would have kept the book of Enoch in the Bible, we would have saw that Noah was an albino, So if you want to say how those different races start, it started through the gene line, because it was only one race, and that was the black race. Do
I had to,
you kind of see where I'm going?
let me drop this. Not only the Book of Enoch. Listen. There's one book that they took out, and when they took this book out, it completely changed what so-called Yeshua was teaching, or Jesus. It completely changed when they took it out, and they did that on purpose because they didn't want you to know that. Is the book of John. In the book of John, Jesus talking about the universe. He's talking about having divine consciousness. It's very spiritual.
You got a book of John?
Book of John.
Oh, I have to check that out. I never heard of
Yeah,
that.
he's going in on a lot of different spiritual concepts, because essentially this being called Jesus or Yeshua, he's nothing more than what we are, teachers, that avatars, avatar beings that incarnate to come down to a planet and teach you a certain level of spiritual information so that you can raise yourself up and get up out of this so-called hell, because we deal with the fact that Earth is hell. Long story short, so beings incarnate and come down to this planet to teach you how to get out of hell. That's why it's unfortunate. Long story without rambling, it's unfortunate that beings that teach you, they end up being persecuted, because when you persecute a being like that, only thing you're doing is keeping your soul trapped in hell. Long story short, and you don't have too many time to come out. Long story short, but I don't want to get spooky. I don't want to get spooky.
It's spooky.
Oh, she likes spooky. I don't like spooky.
She's like this here. No, I don't want to do the spooky.
Get spooky over him. It's cool.
That was enough spook. That was enough spook for tonight. When I just said is you don't have too many time. You don't have too many chances to leave hell. That's enough spook. That's enough spook right there.
Look, I'm like you. Don't I can't chew the meat on this right here. I'm on milk, okay? So treat me like a baby.
Right, exactly. See, and listen, that's one thing that I'm very adamant about is you never download too much information into somebody who's coming out, because then they, you know what I'm saying, you don't know, their consciousness might not be ready, and they can they can have all type of anxiety attacks, blah blah blah. It's not easy dealing with a certain level of knowledge, because a lot of knowledge still brings confusion, because the more you know, the more you learn, is you find out the more you don't know.
So this is what I want to know. Do you think that the first race was the black race, and everything came down through genetic genes?
Yes, essentially, yes. Essentially, yes.
And by them traveling to colder climates, that's how the skin color just kept,
No. That in my personal opinion, that's the most ridiculous of the theories I've heard about the coming of the lighter races. That's the most ridiculous that I've heard.
But the colder the climate, our skin turns lighter, right?
I agree 100%. Then ask the Eskimos why the Eskimos still dark skinned. They still up there.
So what you think? How did the Caucasian kept that race? Do you think?
But real quick, before we get into that, do you understand that the Eskimos are still dark skinned and they still live up there? They live in conditions way colder than where the lighter races came from.
True.
So based upon that information, you know what I'm saying, that's why when I have that information and then somebody says that, because I've heard it, because Kaba Kamini taught on that, and that's why I don't follow Kaba Kamini, because he said that. So after he said that, I was like, wait a minute, that's absolutely ridiculous. So I couldn't follow him after that. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not using. When I looked at that, I'm sorry. When I heard that, the first thing I thought in my head was, wait a minute, the Eskimos, and yes, the skin does get lighter, but how do you lose your hair texture? Long story short, we have different hair texture. The entire genetic structure changed. So you mean to tell me that cold weather changed your entire genetic structure? So that means you mutated into something else? When does cold weather ever mutate people instead of, you know what I'm saying? Long story short.
That makes sense.
So when people deal with that theory, you're basically saying cold weather will mutate you into another being. So if I move to New York, I'm gonna literally transform into something else.
Your eye color change, your hair.
Your eye color changes. Your lips shrink. Your nose shrinks. You lose you lose the rhythm. That, good Lord, the hair texture, because that's not real hair. That's actually what we call rabor, or that's fur. So how does your hair become? How does kinky hair become fur? You know
So
what I'm saying? And so it gets very deep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
what do you think it was, like fallen angels, Nephilims, or what?
So what we? Good question. What I deal with, there's two accounts. One is the Pleiadians, descendants of Pleiadians, which is a star race. Another one is the fact that so they're hybrids. This is why now I know this might be a little confusing if you're not aware of the Sumerian or the Anunnaki or other beings that came down to the planet that were conducting genetic experiments. I'm sorry, beings that are conducting genetic experiments, which resulted in the creation of other hybrid races. So that's why, again, you would have to check out the Anunnaki first, and then you're gonna see in your mind's eye. Wait a minute, there's a lot of beings down here that were created that were the result of ancient genetic experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So
for my quick, I'm
you
sorry.
think
Go ahead.
you think that there's like aliens or something walking amongst us, or people from somewhere else? That's what you're saying?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh my goodness, you're alien. Again, your body is an avatar. Okay, just it's when you're playing a video game. Okay, the real you, excuse me, which is your soul. That's the real you, not what you're seeing in the mirror. That's just an avatar. An avatar is a tool for you to interact with a planet. Okay, that's all it is. Your body is just a tool to interact with a planet and its environments. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, the real you was not created on this planet. The real you comes from a whole nother higher place, heaven for the Christian. It comes from heaven. The real you is a soul experiencing. Again, let's go back to the whole spirituality doctrine. What's going on? You are a divine being having a divine human experience. So essentially, you are the alien. Now, with that being said, you do have beings from other planets who are using or who are also using avatars. But again, this gets deeper. It gets deeper and gets deeper and gets deeper. So, but to keep it simple, do I believe that the aliens walking amongst us? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And that explains why people just acting so weird now. So do you think that it's now about to be revealed?
Most definitely. Most definitely. If you yeah. So based upon my observation and things I'm monitoring, of course, what's going on is, and I invite everybody to look this up, including you, beloved. But ask yourself this question: why has NASA hired priests who are being prepared to make a revelation to the masses of people? You know what I'm saying? So of course, what they're doing is they're going through a soft revelation
Mm-hmm.
because eventually they cannot continue to hide what's really going on.
So that's why they dying out, because 2045 is doomsday for them. You know that, right?
So say that one more time.
2045 is doomsday for them, for the Europeans.
Okay,
Did you know that?
and I didn't enlighten me. I didn't know that.
Yeah, 2045, the white race is dying out, which we already was the majority, but they saying now that we are the majority and they are the minority, that they are dying out. And that's why so much stuff is going on right now, because they trying to keep that race alive, but that race is dying out. And that's facts. Google it.
Oh, you mean okay, bet you mean in terms of them dying out, right? Of course. Well, because their DNA wasn't designed to last longer than a certain cycle. So
Yeah.
what's going on now is that's why they are being that's why mixing is being promoted so that some of their genetic can survive. Long story short, but they were not created to live longer than their cycle. Long story short, so they've outlived their cycle. And what's happening is if your DNA is degrading, but the vibration of the planet is speeding up, okay, and the sun is speeding up, so the sun is going to destroy your DNA. And they made a show about this too, which I found very interesting. In the
Mhm.
show, long story short, the sun was killing everybody on the planet,
Except
and
us.
that's huh?
Except us, the black race, right? Because the sun bashing out. our skin, right?
Say it one time.
Except the black race because of our melanin.
Right, exactly. Well, exactly. Well, in the movie, of course, they're not going to show you that. But what's really going on, right? We are children. We are children of the sun. We are able to convert that into energy. Long story short, and that's what your soul is. Your soul is a sun in a body. So that's what you are. You are that sun personified in the divine melanated form. So now the problem is a lot of the sun children have degraded themselves and de-evolved to a lower level being. So a lot of them going to get killed off too. Let's keep it real. Okay, this is why we're trying to get again. This is why teachers incarnate to teach you how to listen, cure yourself physically and consciously, so that you can vibrate along with the planet. If you cannot vibrate along with the planet, you cannot be on the planet.
Hmm. And that makes sense of my dreams that I have because I've been dreaming a lot. And so when you say we have to vibrate a planet, that means in good health and everything, right?
Yes, essentially, right, exactly. The planet is let's see how I can say it. It's increasing the vibration, which means okay, it's speeding up a little faster. That's why days are becoming shorter because the planet is spinning faster. Okay, everything your body has a certain vibration. Everything vibrates. Most of us are aware of that of the law of vibration. So everything vibrates, right? Everything. I don't give a fuck I don't care what it is. It has a vibration. Your body has a certain vibration. The planet has a certain vibration. Okay, the vibration of your body is supposed to increase with the planet, but it does that naturally. Your body, your vibration of your body naturally increases with the planet. What happened was they started serving us a lot of food and a lot of the other products. We started destroying ourselves, so a lot of our vibrations are not keeping up with the natural process. Okay, this is why a lot of us are dying, or so-called dying off in the physical form.
Hmm. Yeah, because I've been having some weird dreams. I had a dream that I was just going to a place. I just saw like it was like a big old huge building, and I live in a small town, so we don't have too many tall buildings. And it was like the daylight, it was just so bright, and all of a sudden, I started seeing people just, running towards the opposite way. So I started running towards the opposite way. People just started disappearing, and so I looked up and I just saw people just floating in the skies, and just hanging in the trees, and it just was so weird, and I don't know it's because I've been opening myself to new stuff that's on the internet because when you come on the internet, you open yourself to a lot of stuff. But I'm starting seeing like it's it's just like weird things is starting to I'm starting to see. So I don't know if, I'm starting to open myself to all that, or I don't know, it's just me and my imagination. I don't know.
We are definitely stay open. Listen, stay open minded. An open mind is a divine mind. So as long as you're open minded, more revelations and more truths will come to you.
Hmm. It's like it's like I can be standing up, and I don't smoke. Okay, so it's not like I can say that it's something that I'm smoking because I don't smoke. It's like I can stand up, and all of a sudden it just feel like my feet just off the ground, or it's like if I'm in like a little place just sitting down, it's like I can just move something around, and I actually think that it's just actually you know moving around. It's like I'm seriously like it's like I'm actually could just pull my soul out of my body while my body is just laying down. You remember I told you about that ocean.
Yeah, I
It's
remember
like
that.
it's like I'm laying down, and it's like my body just couldn't. It's like my spirit could just come out my body, and I could just watch my body laying down.
Well, good. So now you know. Now you know what life is beyond the human experience. It's more free. You can move through walls. You can move up, down, left, right, as fast as you want, as slow as you want. That's total freedom. The human body is looked at as well. What I do is the human body is looked at as what or hell or prison because your soul's trapped. The only thing you can do is walk and jump or crawl, but you can't move up and down. You can't move yourself to another galaxy at will in an instant because you're having a human experience. So you're limited to the human confinement. Long story short.
But what if I can't get back into that body? If I could actually see myself coming out of my body, but what if I cannot get back in my body? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So that's all on you. Are you still attached to Earth? Are you still attached to your body? That all depends on what level you're at. Some people are not attached to their body. Some people still have an attachment. So that all depends on where you're at with yourself. Some people love Earth. Some people love this experience, so they don't want to leave here.
Well,
Some people, huh?
I believe that I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world.
Got you. Okay.
You see?
Okay.
So I'm more like with nature. That's why I used to be so drawn to some of the stuff that Nature Boy was teaching. Besides the foolishness, it's like I'm more of a dreamer.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, that's good. Dream. That's deep too. But that's something else. But if you're dreaming, that's a good thing because that means you're not trapped in this in this realm.
Mm-hmm. And it's like I'm going to another level now, but that other level is kind of scary, kind of freaking me out,
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Don't call me crazy.
That's all good. No. You are right on time. Right on time.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting having out of bodies experience. I'm sure if Alma was around, this right. This is her subject as well. Spirituality is her subject. So yeah, yeah, um, I'm trying to think what else I need to ask you. Well, I
Okay.
don't. But I haven't seen anybody put anything in the chat because that's what I was looking. I thought they would be asking you a lot of questions. I don't know whether Chris would like to come up because even Chris is another well book read and on stuff as well. So I don't know whether he's still around in the chat.
So, guys, look, I enjoyed the conversation, so I'm gonna go ahead and step down, and I'm gonna just be watching from the comments. Okay, thank you, Ocean, for allowing me to come a part of your platform. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay because this is what I like, especially when we talk to people face to face, and it makes it more interesting, doesn't it?
All right,
Yeah.
guys, take care here.
All
Okay.
right.
I shook divine love to you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't even know what to ask you because, okay, okay. I think I've asked you enough questions. I think we had the interaction because, I didn't. I thought it'd be more people wanted to ask you more questions, but I don't know where I haven't. I mean, but the conversation is good still because then everybody's learning off each other, and it's always good to have these conversation on out of body. Okay, at the hospital. Oh yeah, so Miss Wise is at the hospital at her work. So yeah, but it is a great convo. Hopefully, like if anything, right, I would like to have you up again, maybe when Amma's about as well, because there's a few ones that I really want the interaction with you, particularly, and because like you already put away some of the stuff away already, I'm sure that they see that there's more to you than the carbonations and them lot really that's connected. And you do right you do have a level of knowledge, and it's not that you had to prove anything to me or anything. It's just that it's nice having these open conversations per se, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So because of the timing over here, otherwise I would have carried it on longer. but I don't wanna fall asleep on you or nothing like that.
What time is it out there?
It's 12:54 right now, midnight
Oh
gone.
wow. Okay. Almost 1. Okay, I got you.
So if anything, yeah. I still gotta project you because I still find you very interesting person anyway, on a whole. Because like you don't look like the typical Egyptian order person, so which is good.
Okay.
You really don't, because like you don't wear the hats and on all the stuff and the fact that how you are able to interact with another person on the galactic level, even though people not into space or they're not into whatever. But the ones who is, it's nice to see that interaction, even though he didn't come up, but it's still good to see that. So yeah, it was really nice. It's really, really nice interaction, and hopefully I could do it again. And hopefully, if King Aladdin's around, and any others around, Cosmo. There's one called Cosmo as well.
Okay.
Professor X.
Okay.
She's into the Egyptian order as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
tell her to holler at me. Shit.
She's amazing. You would like her. Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. As well. And let me see. Oh yeah, so Miss White says yes, it's very interesting. Hopefully next time I could come up. It's refreshing to see such a well-read young soul. Exactly. That's what I was thinking as I'm listening to him. Like, like how well knowledgeable you are, because I know there is a few of you around the place, around the world per se, but it's nice to hear it, because I literally can sit back and I can listen to you all night, in fact, so till next morning even. So yeah, so if anything you could come again. It's cool on this platform here. I'm not going to say don't come or whatever. Yeah, that's what I can say, really.
Okay. Hey, listen. Just let me know.
Yes.
Let me know. I'm usually I'm free. Let me see. I got next weekend gonna be busy. So anytime after next weekend, just let me know.
Okay.
I'm always. It's nothing for me to get up here for an hour or two and speak to the people. I'm big on that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's excellent. In fact, because at first I just want to see your mindset, and because this is how it is. Even when like you're getting in relationships, you check the person's head first before you go all in it. So.
Exactly.
And I'm all about that. See, so yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, but thank you for coming along, and having the interaction as well. And till next, well, hopefully, because I normally don't do open panels, and as a rule, normally I do all different things. As you can tell by the channel, I go all different subjects wise and stuff like that. So yeah, but the next time, it will definitely might have to be an open panel to a certain extent, but I will keep it to I know who can tap in, who's good at tapping in. So I will contact those ones, and I'll let Professor X know about you. So you and Professor X can talk, because she's about that life. She is.
Okay. Well, yeah. Tell her to holler at me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So
I appreciate. Well, thank you for inviting me to your platform. I appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. Yeah, no problem. And it was nice. It was nice. Very calm and nice. That's what I like.
Right. Look, again, let me tell you something. I'm from California. Okay. So maybe I know if you have a European audience, you may not be aware about Cali, but if you're from America, Californians are about relaxation, You know what I'm saying? Peace and all that. That's what the energy is out there.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it sounds nice. It even sounds nice. Ready to pack my bags now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. But listen, that type of energy you can radiate it from wherever you at, if you
Yeah,
so choose.
yeah. I hear that one. I hear that one.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that one because because there's loads of people who radiate the sun anyway over here. It's just that how it tries to be dim because they're messing with the sun and they're messing with everything else. There's loads of chemtrails. I was supposed to record some chemtrails the other day because I think there's another person who I follow on here and she's from the UK and she recorded a lot of chemtrails from her window. So yeah, it does really mess with your look. But like it's like you gotta have a protective I would say protective energy around you and stuff like that. So but a lot of people's not into energy stuff, not into energy work, not into this and not into that.
Right.
So sometimes it's best to leave them where they're at and continue your own journey. And if they choose to catch up, they choose to catch up, or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah, you never want to. Yeah, you never want to give people too much. You always want to meet them where they're at.
yeah, true. It's true. Yeah,
Remember, Earth is a school,
yeah,
literally. So
yeah.
in that, every school has different grades. First
Mm-hmm.
through, you got some school in America. You have some schools that are literally first grade through 12th grade, which is high school. So it means you have little children. Okay, so it's the same concept, same thing. You have children. Most consciousnesses on this planet are childish, to be honest. When you look at it
Yes.
from a galactic, when you look at it from a galactic standpoint, you have a lot of childish level. And just because when I say the word childish, it's not a bad thing. I'm still a child, so I can
Mm,
still be looked at as childish as well,
mm,
from higher beings.
mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah. I hear that. I hear that as well. Yeah, I can concur. I could concur with that one. Yes, that's true. Because even the oldest person, some people can be old in age and still go on like a child. Some people, some people, their maturity. Sometimes I feel when I meet some young people and they're so mature, even I'm like shocked, like because they're showing me certain stuff. So you know,
Right, exactly. It'd be a lot of older people who are childish. Then you have some young star seeds who have a old
mm,
soul.
yes, yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of them around. There is a lot of them around, but it's a rarity when you meet one or two of them, or one or two who really knows their onions, who's really like as Miss Wire said, well read, well on their thing. Even they show you the older one, like it's like right, it's like a refreshing. It's like they refresh the older ones. So even though the fires come out from the older ones where like they was part of the community, the so-called woke community at one point, but then even those ones, like they like they have their like their little levels. It's just that how some of them don't like to be taught. Some of them find it hard to listen to the younger ones. Well, I don't know why that is. When they say a little child should lead us, refer into the Bible, but
Right,
children show you a lot of stuff. Children, even from my young ones, they show me a lot of stuff. So yeah,
right. Exactly. They lead us. They're the leaders. Each
yeah,
new generation is a higher vibration of entity that's incarnated.
hmm
So we give birth to the elders or their ancestors. We bring them back.
yeah. That is and that's real. So I perfectly understand where you're coming from as well. Well, I understand, overstand, however I understand where you're coming from, and yeah, but I'm gonna come off myself too. so that I can see after my little one when she gets up. So she's actually been good. She fell asleep. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, like I said, just let me know. I'll be back on.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Much appreciate you coming over.
No problem. I'll leave y'all with Ashuk. Ashuk means divine love. Divine love is unconditional love. So I'll leave you all with Ashuk. I'll leave you with Ashuk. And we shall meet again in divine timing.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yes. Thanks for that.
No problem. I'm out of here. Ashuk.
Okay. All right. Take care. Let me put the screen. Okay, so that was a very nice interaction. Thank you, peoples, for coming around. I appreciate you for coming around and giving the questions, statements, however, interacting with SunGod. Okay, so so we get an idea of who he is and who and who and who he's becoming, basically. So and it was an interesting chat because he did actually go into other areas of conversation, which is really good because not often, right, you can have conversations with people who's linked to certain elements, and he was able to express a lot of stuff which I feel is interesting. Like they say, you're never too old to learn, and I mean, I'm not into the starship stuff as like that, but it's interesting to hear from someone so young, and hopefully the next interaction, hopefully there'll be more questions or more explanation. It's what you call it, more interactions maybe. And thank you for coming again. I appreciate it. For the ones who come in on the comment section, you can leave me questions and I can shoot it to him in the DMs or whatever. You can follow him on SunGod Avatar, SunGod at Avatar. He is on a few platforms as well, if you're into TikTok and all that stuff. And that, so yeah, I just didn't want. Oh yeah, see, it's 1 o'clock. See, just hit 1 o'clock. See, so I finished at the right time. So with that said, thank you for coming through, and for those who came through, let me see again who came through. So Trips Treehouse, Real Talk with Lady D, Ghetto Child Clinic, Miss Wise, So Amma, Immortal Morals, Chris Cypers. And yes, it was a very interesting chat. It was very, very interesting. And thank you for coming on the panel, Real Talk Lady D. And I like him. He's not ignorant. No, he's not an ignorant person. It's really good. Because for him to even talk to the Chris, because Chris is really good at asking questions as well. He's very good at questioning and all that stuff, because he knows quite a lot of stuff to himself. So the fact that how he was able to explain and it's like a conclusion was like a meeting of minds came into hand. So it just shows how, like, you just gotta ask people questions sometimes. Like I was assuming a lot, but I'm glad that he said that how he was into fashion before, and that's why he dresses the way he dresses, and he was a model. So that explains a lot on that side of things. And he's really into the Egyptian order because he got into it and all that. So if you replay it, you can hear what he says to how the reason why he projects himself in this way and all that stuff. And you know, trying not to mess up the masses in certain ways, or let people because even he said go and research it. Now when have Nature Boy ever said that? He's never said go and research it, right? He's always telling you what to think and how to whatever. The fact that this young one said, okay, go and research it, like is in this part, it's in that part, it's in that part. Even with the Bible, most woke